Hey everybody, I just wanted to give an update. You'll probably notice the red in my face. There's red in my arms too, of course, some more places. The fact is there was this infectious disease doctor that came in the room the other day, and Ray wasn't here to talk to him. And I was in a tremendous amount of pain. I didn't even know what was going on. And so he was talking about the Stevens-Johnson syndrome and what had happened and when and what medicines and records and trying to find things and all this kind of stuff. And he began to talk about something that he said turned out to be a wrong thing, but it was a right thing because it was told to me. Because there was a mix-up at first when I was at Wellstar, and then it was confirmed later that they were right the first time, and that I was right. So anyway, he just kept saying, it seemed like he was arguing, and then he thought the clindamycin allergy was the only time I'd went to Wellstar, but I was in Wellstar in 2017 for vancomycin. So here he was trying his best to find a reason not to be allergic to vancomycin. Then he went to diclofenac. And the funny thing about this is, a few days ago, I got a message from my doctor's office from my nurse telling me diclofenac was supposed to be sent into Johnson's for me to try to help me get better. But that it can't be given to me because I'm allergic. And then to be honest with me, I didn't remember why the diclofenac was on my allergy list. My mind does not work that well, so I don't remember a lot of things. So once I get an allergic reaction, they go on my patient list. So down the road, I may not remember why they're there, or which doctor, So I couldn't find answers myself, and I told him that. I said, I don't really know why it's on there. I don't really, I said, the point is, you trust your doctors, If it's on there, there was a reason they had to put it there. There was an action, of course, to a reaction. And so I always trusted that even if I forgot what I was allergic to or the reason or who, that maybe somebody else would always be there to remember. And there it is on the patient portal. And it's my only way. It's my only link to my allergy list. Well, because I didn't know why, and this is the reason why, the doctor I have, the rheumatologist, she don't have internet patient portals and stuff like that. So, therefore, I didn't know why the diclofenac was on there, but she did. So, anyway, the next day, the guy anyway sends them in with diclofenac, with zithromycin and this other stuff for antibiotic. And they induced this diclofenac from my allergy list on me because this doctor told them to. That's not their fault. They gotta do what they're told. Because I didn't know and he couldn't confirm why I was allergic, why it was on there. Shouldn't be on there, huh? By the next day, I was already turning red. Therefore, if they hadn't caught it in time, it could be worse. But the doctor come in the other morning, this other doctor, and I had several doctors. And she was shocked at what she saw. And at first she thought maybe it's the antibiotic. And then they got to considering everything, and then she got to talk to my doctor in Anniston, my rheumatologist, about this. Come to find out, the diclofenac that was on my allergy list is on my allergy list because she gave it to me and I had an allergic reaction. So on her end was the information they needed that kind of verified this allergic reaction that I just had was related to the diclofenac. So I don't know what Ray would have done if he had been here, but I know what he felt like doing. Because when he got here and found out about it, he got here early the next day. Well, they had done found out that infectious disease is the one that ordered it. So they was going to let them know. They said they would let infectious disease know. Okay, so evidently they did. And evidently that's why that guy never showed back up to this room. My husband was here and he was ready to talk with him. I don't know how good the conversation would have been because I've had too much negativity and too many mistakes gone into my life. And my husband is very protective of me now. And, he's doing the best he can. He's at home resting and taking care of my dog right now. And he's going to try to come up here today maybe. I'm wishing I could go home because I know that when the snow sets in, he can't get here. I wouldn't want him to. I really wouldn't want him to endanger his life from me. But I'm only here this long probably because of this allergic reaction. And if I don't get to go home and I lose all contact with Ray, mentally sometimes it's hard for me to be around strangers by myself so long and lose contact with any family, anybody, I could have my mom here probably, and if I knew that my husband was okay and I knew that he was warm and the power hadn't gone out or that he was fine and he hadn't got into any danger or he was taking care of himself, then I might not mind it. But he has health issues too, and that concerns me on the fact that we don't really have any backup generators or anything for heat in our apartments down there. So, it just concerns me if we lose phone contact, cause of phone outages or power outages or water freezes up, what would I know going on with him if he needed help? And I couldn't do any good. I couldn't be of no help. I couldn't get no message to nobody that he needed help. But I would have mom or somebody, It would have to be somebody that I knowed in order for me to feel comfortable. The only thing right now, and some of you go through this probably, the only thing that gets me through a hospital stay is my family members being here. Somebody that I know, somebody I feel comfortable around. And then if it ain't my husband and somebody else can be here that I truly know that can stay and not leave, I'm fine with that if I'm comfortable around them. Because when you wake up in the middle of the night and you're in a lot of pain or you're struggling, and that person, especially being a preacher and singer and a comedian all in one, that helps, because they keep you going, they keep you living. And then I got these adorable grandbabies, and last night I put their pictures on my Facebook because I've got a lot of pictures of Ray in my phone, but I don't have any of them on there where I can, go directly to them when I want to look at their face. So I just go there as a shortcut, and that's why I put them in there that way, so I could see both my grandkids, and focus on them. Like the other day when they were doing the bathing and cleaning and doctoring, it's not easy, it's very painful. I'm not going to say it's easy. I have been through a literal week of hockey sticks, I'll say it that way, okay? Because I don't know any other way to put it. But the past 3 weeks of my life have been the same, only it's just gotten worse, and then, today is a lot better. But my pain would get severe. My Aunt Darlene describes it perfectly. You feel like you're being sunburned. Now the sores, you feel like you're being cut, like you're a Thanksgiving turkey being carved up all over, And while they're cleaning the wounds and everything, and they're trying to doctor you and help you, you're screaming because you're in pain. They're scrubbing across the sores. They're trying to get in there and heal them, but they're trying to be as soft as they can. So therefore, I keep trying to remind everybody that, hey, I know you're trying to help me and you're not trying to harm me. I'm in pain, I'm going to scream, but just know that I understand that you're trying to help me. I'm just in pain. And that's what family helps with. When family comes in, you forget those things. Like the other day when Ray was here, they wouldn't let him stay in here when they cleaned me because I would scream, and they didn't want him to have to, it really, he don't like to see me go through this. He doesn't like it when he has to doctor me at home when things like this happen, only they don't usually happen this bad. Normally we can get them under control, but I have to be so careful because of the Steven Johnson and I have such autoimmune deficiencies and things that are wrong in my body. This happened since 2017, and now the heart failure thing with the COPD and all this kind of stuff. All this stuff is kind of new to me, on top of the kidney problem, the chronic kidney disease thing. Anyway, yeah, it's still not easy, but it's better. I'm hoping that when I get clean this time that it won't hurt at all. I won't know till I get started. But anyway, he goes downstairs and he wastes a little time and comes back up. And because he was here, he helped me to quickly forget that pain that I was in. Not just the pain I was in while I was being bathed, but the pain in when she turned and when she, oh God, every time you turn. And then I had a bathroom issue the other night, and that was pretty bad on me. And they can't get me out of bed, physical therapy, because my bed's too high up, and the hospital can't get them to change my bed to something that I can get out of. And so physical therapy's trying to figure out if I can get on a step and climb down with them and then climb back in the bed, something that way. So they haven't got me up. They've just had a chance to raise me up on the bed. And I want to get out, I want to get out and sit somewhere else. I want to walk around a little bit. I want to get out of this bed. I'm restless. I feel like right now I'm at one of my lowest points of bad, it's a better side of me compared to what I've had all week long. I mean, to be able to get on this phone and talk to you right now. But I literally, number one, I was in the hospital in 2017. I lost everything. My dog, I had to give my dog up that I had. She got killed, hit by a car, because I had to give her up to somebody else, and she got out their house and got killed. And I had her over 20 years probably. And it tore me up, and I didn't realize that I had something called PTSD until what happened to me at Wellstar. And while I was at Wellstar, that last time it was bad. And then they said that just kind of did things out. And I've had a lot of loss, since 2017. Because the hospital gave me vancomycin. And they didn't reverse it. And then 20 minutes from discharging from the hospital that day, I ended up breaking out with blisters on my stomach. And before I got home, they were going. And then they got me down there that night to the ER, and they didn't admit me. They went ahead and gave me some sulfa drugs to send me home with. And then I ended up in the hospital again, and they said the sulfa drugs I was allergic to, and that made things worse because it was every time they would give me something, it would make it worse, not better. Anyway, that's how I ended up at Floyd Hospital eventually, because Alabama doctors and hospitals kept sending me home and nearly killed me. I don't know how to describe it. It was like, I don't know. I was sent from Gadsden Regional home the night before I went into Rome with kidney failure and septic shock.